The Metro Gold Line is the light rail line that currently runs between East Los Angeles and Pasadena. Phase 1 of the line, a nearly 14-mile segment connecting Union Station in downtown Los Angeles and the Sierra Madre Villa Station in East Pasadena, with 13 stations, opened in 2003, and an extension to East Los Angeles was completed in 2009. This episode will provide an overview of the Gold Line Foothill extension and its vision to connect Los Angeles, the San Gabriel Valley, and Inland Empire by light rail.
The opening of the Gold Line is so important to our community because we've been working on this since the 80s.
So when we tend to look at things now and we have a hurdle here and a hurdle there, we just have to think about the obstacles we've overcome in the past.
Plans are underway for a second phase to extend the line east from Pasadena along the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains, connecting cities of the San Gabriel Valley and Inland Empire with metropolitan Los Angeles. This extension, referred to as the Foothill Extension, is planned in 3 segments. The first, Phase 2A, will extend the line nearly 12 miles and include stations in the cities of Arcadia, Monrovia, DeWarty, Irwindale, and Azusa. Phase 2B is a 12-mile extension that will include stations in the cities of Glendora, San Dimas, Laverne, Pomona, Claremont, and Montclair. A final extension to LA Ontario International Airport is also under study.
Because improving our air quality and getting the traffic off the freeways is a priority that we all share.
This is an amazing time for the San Gabriel Valley. To see what's going to happen here in the next few years is unbelievable, but at the same time inspiring.
We have over 2 million residents in the San Gabriel Valley, plus we have hundreds of thousands more who live in the San Bernardino and Riverside County who commute to Los Angeles County for their job.
We at Metro are looking forward to working with the Construction Authority to continue the momentum of this vitally needed project.
The Foothill Extension is being planned and built by the Metro Gold Line Foothill Extension Construction Authority, a state transportation agency put in place by the California legislature in 1999 for the sole purpose of building the line.
It's because it's going to help us get jobs. It's going to help us breathe clean air. It's going to help us become more energy independent.
The Metro Gold Line Foothill Extension will link up cities across the top of LA County, from Pasadena to Montclair. 24 miles in all, it's a vision for the future.
There's been a recognition in Southern California, and certainly in the San Gabriel Valley for decades, that public transportation was an important need in Southern California if we were going to enter the 21st century and survive.
This population is going to increase by 1/3 in another generation. And we're still on the same freeways. Even though we have the 10, the 60, the 210, etc., all those freeways are congested.
Well, you have options now where you never had an alternative. You had to get on the freeway. You had to go down Foothill. You had to go down Huntington. Now you have an opportunity of something that's reliable. On a rainy day, on a sunny day, you really don't know what you're going to get into when you get on the freeway. Now you have a reliable way of getting to other destinations.
You have a tremendous talent pool in this region of 10 million people in this county. Many of these talented people did not have access to other jobs and access to economic opportunities that arise in other parts of the county. And I think part of the exciting thing about the construction program that we have underway now is the accessibility, not only from an employer standpoint to be able to reach more of that talent pool, to fill some of their needs and remain competitive in this economic environment, but for the people on the other end looking for these jobs, it gives them a greater range of areas that they can search to possibly take employment.
The Gold Line's economic impact is already being felt in the region.
Well, Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation recently did a study on the transit projects, including the Gold Line. It identified about 7,000 jobs that were created by virtue of this project. Those are jobs today. Those aren't jobs years from now, but those are jobs immediately beginning this summer in the phase of design, engineering, and then ultimately construction. So we're looking forward to that in an economy like this where people are needing jobs. This is an opportunity to really jumpstart in LA County that's been hit so hard.
Congressman Adam Schiff has led the charge for more than a decade in support of the Gold Line.
At the present time, we're so hungry for new jobs, the LA Economic Development Corporation estimates that this will basically raise about $1 billion in revenue for the area in commerce. It's a great way to put people to work. It's a great way to get people out of their cars It's a great way to try to clean up our air, reduce congestion. It is, I think, an unmitigated positive for the whole region.
I thoroughly supported Adam when he came to me and said, we need your name on the dotted line to help support this project. Why? It doesn't benefit my area, but it benefits California and its citizens, and it benefits the children.
For decades, Los Angeles' public transit system has stood in stark contrast with the connectivity of other major cities in America and around the world.
The LA basin is a huge basin, and we are representing over 8 million people. And we need more than just a line to the west or a line to the east. We need many more alternatives. And we haven't built the system because we've been in love with our cars.
The Green Line stops a mile away from LAX. How are you going to have a regional transportation system if we don't have transit directly to the airports?
You fly into London, you can get on a train or the subway and go into downtown London. In San Francisco, and I've ridden BART a lot, you want to go to San Francisco Airport, it goes right into the airport. It's fabulous, and it's not very expensive.
The level of connectivity enjoyed by other cities might seem incompatible with the sprawling nature of our region, but historically, Los Angeles had a thriving mass transit system that peaked in popularity in the 1920s. Known as the Red Cars, they were a network of electric streetcars connecting Los Angeles, Orange, Ventura, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties. But with the growing popularity of the more reliable automobile, the red car lines were abandoned in favor of more freeways. The last red car stopped operating in 1961. Only now, 50 years later, is similar connectivity returning to the region.
And every inch of rail, every inch that we build, benefits us all, not just those in the areas that it crosses. Rail is becoming the backbone of our transportation system. Along with buses, it improves our mobility. It allows us to connect with jobs, schools, medical centers, shopping, entertainment, and cultural opportunities. It's going to help with air quality, not just in the San Gabriel Valley, but throughout the entire region.
When planning for the Gold Line began in the early 1990s, Metro purchased the right-of-way and began planning and designing the project. When Metro shelved the project less than a decade later, the state legislature created a special construction authority through Senate Bill 1847, taking the responsibilities to build the line and the associated funding away from Metro and giving it to a new, independent authority who went to work on the first phase from Union Station to Sierra Madre Villa in 2001.
Give it up for then Senator Adam Schiff, who had the vision to set up an independent construction authority that gets more miles per dollar than other construction authorities. This is a lean, mean, fighting construction machine.
Well, the local climate was such that the MTA really wasn't supportive of the project. They had suspended it. They told us at the time they were suspending it temporarily, but perhaps permanently. And it was really necessary, if we were going to get this project built, to take it away from the MTA and to give it to an authority that would be solely focused on building this line.
Like I've always said, the difference between a winner and a loser is a winner gets up after being knocked down, where a loser stays down. The San Gabriel Valley had been knocked down over and over again, but they kept getting up. And every time they got up, we got more strength.
Ultimately, I remember getting through the Senate and going to the Assembly Transportation Committee. We had to fight the then chairman of the committee who was opposed to it. It happened to be my birthday of all days. The committee passed the bill and then sang me happy birthday, and it truly was a very happy birthday.
And it not only worked, but that line was built, that first phase was built on time and under budget. How often does that happen with a mass transit project?
Since opening in 2003, the line has become an integral part of the county's transportation system. Today, more than 34,000 boardings take place on the Gold Line each weekday, a number that has continually increased since the line opened for service just 7 years ago. Many LA County residents took the time to tell us why they love riding the Gold Line.
The time element, it gets us done there pretty quick, yeah, without the hassle of the traffic.
You can come at any time without really checking the time, because you know that one will come by, within like 5-10 minutes.
Senior ticket, 55 cents, greatest deal in town.
It
helps me financially. I don't spend as much money, on my tickets daily that I would in gas.
I'm able to kind of use my smartphone. I'm able to actually check my email, make some calls. It's just, I actually am able to get a lot more done sitting on the train. So,
okay.
I really kind of prefer it now.
I love how it's clean, and I like the security, and it's just a fun ride.
As early as 2001, while the Construction Authority was at its peak of activity constructing the first leg of the Metro Gold Line, a parallel effort was launched to begin the environmental planning and funding strategies that would help complete the line eastward to Montclair. It was the next critical phase of the project.
Well, first on Phase 2A, we began about 2004 with the environmental work, and we had done some design and engineering for the project, worked with all the cities, developed consensus, got everyone focused on a plan where stations were going to be located, parking, the kinds of crossings that were going to occur in each city. Once we put that work together, I had it environmentally cleared in 2007, and then we started working on the funding and building consensus around funding, and that brought us to the passage of Measure R.
LA County voters approved Measure R in 2008, increasing the sales tax to help fund transportation projects.
And this really happened because of the voters of LA County and of the San Gabriel Valley that in the deepest, darkest depths of our recession dug into their pockets and went to the voting booth and voted 68% for Measure R, the half-cent sales tax. And I'm sure we all see that when we buy something. We say, why is this bill so high? And you figure out, I'm almost paying 10% tax, but a half penny comes directly for these rail projects. The Foothill extension is just the beginning of a dozen major transit projects that are being funded by Measure R and coming soon to a neighborhood near you. And these projects are going to reshape Los Angeles County into a true 21st century region that is attractive to business, to jobs, and to the workers who follow.
With Measure R, it designated the project to receive about $735 million, of which we were entitled to all of it for the project. Unfortunately, the project went from Pasadena to Claremont. The funding only took us about halfway. So there's about a $400–500 million gap to complete the project all the way to the county line. But we do have enough to get us started with 2A, and that is by the passage of Measure R and the funds that are available.